It's another exciting moment on the V-Teens Talk show. And today we have,
My name is Francis.
My
and
name is Success.
yes, today we are going to be talking about sexual abuse, but this time on the boy child. I've got a lot of calls, messages. Why are you being biased? It's not just the girls that are victims here. Guys are also victims. And I'm like, relax. We are covering everywhere. So right now we're going to be talking about abuse on the boy child. And I have these amazing teenagers who are well learned, educated on this topic. Okay, so Francis, quickly we are going to go to the reasons why boys are being abused. But before then, can you explain to us what sexual abuse is all about? So somebody hearing it for the first time will understand.
Well, let me start with the definition of child abuse.
Okay.
Child abuse is an action or inaction by an adult or a caregiver. Those caregivers are like babysitters, nannies, that puts the child in a state of harm. That's
Okay.
what it means.
Okay. So now we are going to narrow it to sexual abuse because boys are being sexually abused on a daily basis. And the thing about it is most boys make light of it. Like when we did that survey, I don't know if you're part of that team where we're writing the book on the girl child. When we did that survey, most of the men that we interviewed, they were like, they were even still, in short, most of them are even making joke of it that yes, they were abused, but they enjoyed it. But they did not know the damage that act has caused them now that they are adults. Okay, so we are going to be educating the public, we're going to be educating parents and boys so that you get to understand that there's a whole lot to consider. You don't need to remain, you don't need to be a victim and a happy victim. Let me use that word. Okay, so Francis, please can you tell us, let's start with this trending and topic on social media where we have same gender relating in ways that we in this part of the world knows very well that is not wrong, is not accepted. Okay, it's not accepted here in this part of the world. So now, why do you think boys engage in relationship, sexual relationship of same gender kind of relationship?
Maybe the reason why boys engage in that type of service, it depends on everything because of the society.
The society,
yes. The culture.
Culture?
The culture. Because of recent, Pope Francis actually greenlighted the annulment, the marriage of gay people. You understand that adds to the morals, it gives them that we have a say now. We are supposed to do this, there's nothing wrong. But if you really trace it back, it's actually a sin because it actually happened in Sodom and Gomorrah where people were doing all kinds of, but no, they will not take it that serious because nowadays they're banning the Bible in those countries, so they just bring ignorance of everything. They don't care about the consequences, how it affects the people, the children, the teens, that affect them. And it's seen every way, books, magazines,
yes,
everywhere.
So even I've seen a cartoon that is rated below 12, and they were acting out scenes of and I was very very I'm like, okay, if this can be played to kids in form of cartoons, then I think it's enough to infiltrate into the minds of people as early as, and they'll become something else when they are older.
Because the thing, it goes down to the human being, as the individual. Because there's this cartoon I used to watch when I was a child. It was called Total Skull Island. Something. It was about a group of people in an island competing for stuff. So last week, it came to reality that there was an episode in which one of the female characters, one of the guys in the cartoon dragged her bra down and her breast was left bare to see. So You
And
actually,
that movie was rated
it was on Cartoon Network actually for
Cartoon Network for children.
For children. If you know what I'm talking about, so they
So
actually
that alone
put
is it because the society via social media and other entertainment means
Yeah.
push that into the society. As children get to watch, people watch, they begin to normalize it.
Yeah.
So parents, be careful what your kids, your teenagers are exposed to.
Well, let me address my points about sexual orientation.
Yes.
To start, sexual orientation is a complex and it's influenced by various factors. Factors like the environment, genetics, for example.
Yeah.
So childhood trauma, including child abuse, can affect a person's emotional development.
That's true.
Yeah. So and two, it can affect a person's like
So let's say, okay,
attachments.
now talking about the environment, let's say if a child is maybe abused by, is it safe to say, let me ask you, people are boys, so is it safe to say if a boy is sexually abused, okay, and the abuser happens to be a man,
Alright.
that same gender, is there a possibility that the victim, which is that child or that teenager, will end up homosexual?
Well, to be talking about child abuse doesn't actually cause homosexuality from the research I mean.
Okay.
It doesn't actually cause homosexuality. Homosexuality is actually a choice, or you can choose to be homosexual. You can choose to be right.
So okay, so is there no way that if I, okay, let's say I don't know, but I think for the girls, if maybe the abuser is a woman, there's all tendency, 90% tendency that that girl will end up a lesbian. Yes, that I'm very sure of. That is why when we have same gender school, that's all girls school, we have a lot of girls coming out from that school having that sexual orientation or agreeing to certain form of sexual relationship as regards same gender. Okay, so having said that, so is there a possibility that if a child, let's say the abuser is a man and the victim is a boy child, is there a possibility that if that child grows up, he will end up a gay?
The answer is yes.
Okay.
And there's an 80% chance of that child turning out gay.
Okay. 80% chance. That's you talking from past experience.
Yeah, past
Okay, to
experience.
elaborate on that
People
point.
like-
Okay, Francis.
What is a link between that child abuse there and sexual orientation, as you
Yeah.
said, because it leads to the abuse. It leads to confusion, because let's say he grows up married, you understand, but the only form of affection or pleasure that, let me say, he experienced at that early age was when they abused him, and it feels like that's the only way he can be satisfied, you understand. And it also
And probably the system gets used
it
to
rewires
it.
the brain.
It rewires the brain. Thank you.
And also it also affects the activities of the boy, because it
Yes,
forms difficulty in forming healthy relationships with
exactly.
his friends or with his parents, or maybe when he goes with his wife, because maybe his wife will look for something more intimate with him, but she can't give him what he felt from the abuser.
The abuse,
So it
being that
affects
he
it-
got used to that form
so
of
he can't
pleasure.
really.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So parents, this alone is educating enough. It means for us to combat this issue of homosexuality in Nigeria, especially where it is not accepted, you need to ensure that your child, your boy child, is protected from every form of sexual abuse, because it will certainly alter
Yeah.
the
The wiring of
the
brain.
wiring of the brain as regard that. Thank you, Francis, for that important point. Okay, so now back to our parents. What do you think parents can do to protect the boy child? You know, parents are always very careless.
Yeah.
Let me use that word. when it comes to, for the girls, most of them are they're coming up strong because there's a lot of awareness on the girl child. Okay, so now for the boys, people tend to relax as a boy,
Yeah.
but you and I know there's a whole lot that can go wrong if a boy is sexually abused and does not get hurt. So before that child even gets abused, which I don't want it to get to that point, is there anything you can tell parents so that they can protect their boy child from abuse?
Well, the steps that parents should take to protect their boy child from sexual abuse. Number one, they should consider open communication.
Open communication?
Yeah, let me explain that point. Like open communication, like they should try and encourage their children to express themselves to their parents.
Exactly.
To help with that aspect, parents should try to make themselves available.
Available. Very
and
important.
try not to scare the children. So when they want to say their mind and
Emotional support
yeah.
Will be there. So this is us saying, if you're a parent, do not be too busy for your child. Do not be too busy for your boy child. If you want to be a parent, be an intentional one. As far as you've decided to give birth, you've decided to bring forth a child to this world, just know that it doesn't end with you birthing that child. There's a whole lot you have to do. So if you neglect any of these aspects of bringing up a child rightly, you will end up having a lot of issues. And that issues will sure traumatize or affect the child.
Parents also like monitor and
Monitor.
supervise the activities of the child.
Okay.
Should like indulge in that helicopter parenting, you understand?
Okay.
If you can't follow them anyway, because you don't know.
Okay, hold on. Francis, you said if they can,
If they
they
can.
should follow you everywhere.
Yeah.
So right now, Francis, you're a teenager.
Yeah.
Will you be very comfortable if your parents go with you like everywhere?
I mean, you're talking the point of the abuse. I've not been abused before, but I'm telling you that. Yeah, I think they should. When I mean like helicopter monitoring,
Yeah.
I mean like at least you should be present in the activities they do.
They do.
Like you have to set that boundary. Those
Okay.
boundaries, you understand? Like be home before 5. You understand?
Okay.
You know, like from the hours to 6 to 8, or that's when all these pedophile, all these creeps, they lock around. Why?
But don't forget, what about if the abusers is within?
If they that's why I say you should at least be present. Know who your child is talking to. That's why. But I see no reason why sometimes like children or teens will be too secretive about their password in their phone with their parents. You understand? I mean, like, yes, your parents should have a limit. You understand? But you should also have the knowledge and the understanding that they are your parents. They should have at least a say in your life.
Do you think, as a teenager, is there anything that should be going on in your phone or anything you do with your phone that you think your parents shouldn't know? And why?
Well, I'm not saying that parents shouldn't go through our phones,
Okay.
but there are some things that maybe they can misinterpret. Maybe if I'm talking to a girl, for example, and like she's my bestie, my mom can can peek into my phone and she might think that there's something going on between me and her. So she's not.
So if there's nothing going on between you and the person, why are you not free? So even if, okay, let's say I'm your mom right now, okay, and you have a friend that is a girl, of course, people must relate with member of the opposite gender in school, in church, in mosque, everywhere. You must relate with one another. That's a fact. Okay. Now, as your parent, I expect that your contact will include male and female. So you have a friend that is a female. Why do you think there are certain things I'm going to see inside that phone that I will not be comfortable with?
Well,
Or you think I'm going to misinterpret it? So if really you're not doing anything wrong, if your discussions are in order, And probably I get your phone and I go through it and oh, there's nothing there. Oh, they're just good friends. Probably they're talking about books, they're talking about their career, they're talking about growth and all of that. I'll be very happy. So it means for you to want to keep that aspect private, then there's something that I really need to look out for. I warn you on that. Okay, so now back to our point. I think we are going to talk on teens privacy in our next edition, and you people will still be on our podcast. Okay, all right, so let's quickly go back. So now, are there causes for things that leads to the boys being sexually abused?
Yes, the first cause is family dynamics.
Family dynamics. Okay, can you break it down for us, please?
Family dynamics like substance abuse. There was a story I read yesterday of a mother abusing the child. So the mother keeps forcing the child to take, that's still under substance abuse and also domestic violence.
Domestic violence, okay. Francis, in addition?
Yeah, when it comes to that family dynamic, also like dysfunctional relationships.
Yes.
Like the parents don't really have that connection with the child like that, you understand? And maybe the child like comes back from school and the parent don't ask how was school, have you eaten today, what are you doing, let's go out. The parents are just carefree.
The child is just on his own. The parents are just on their own. So the child just grows up without any form of
not only that substance abuse, because maybe all these people like find the love somewhere else, maybe in drugs or any other thing and stuff like that.
And that can lead to the boys being sexually abused.
I can also lead to like 30% of male prostitution also because like they were drug addicts before and their life fumbled at some point and the only way they could meet ends meet is through all this prostitution and all that stuff.
Okay. Alright, that's fine. Okay, let me quickly bring this in. I don't know if you have anything to say. Nigerians, here in Nigeria, we don't really take mental cases very serious. So we have, do you agree with me that we have parents who are mentally unfit to raise a child, but nobody did anything about it, the society, the government, not even the health sector. So these children grow up under families that are mentally unfit. Probably that is why the family members end up being the abusers. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree, because I think it's it relates to the parents not being able to also support the child. Let's say once they notice poverty or something like that. It causes then those type of things that the parents will only see okay, you send your child out to hawk and all that stuff like that, because in Nigerian movies that I always see let's say the boy is hawking something and there's a group of people driving a car, just tell the boy to enter inside or something like that, and it happens. It also happens with girls also, mostly with girls, but at times it happens with boys.
Now especially that we have the same gender relationship everywhere causing a lot of issues, especially the social media space. Okay, so
and I also had a friend. I think I've told Treasure, you should know her, this story of one of my friends. He had his parents. He wanted to buy a phone, but his father couldn't afford the insurance. So there's this guy that he knows that is trying to get in a homosexual relationship with him. So he comes to him, you understand, in case he needs anything which his parents can. They say there's no food in the house. He'll be like, I'm hungry, can you send me money and stuff like that. And I don't think can lead to it has happened he told him, I'll give you the money if you come to my house, and that's how it can drug him and
and that is very, very common. Now we have lots of boys that people are abusing on a daily basis. Some are very rampant in certain cities or areas in Nigeria. What they do is just they bring in this young, vulnerable boys who come from poor homes. Then they flaunt this wealth, entice them with money, wealth, and all of that, just to abuse them sexually. And that is enough also to, according to you, you said is it alter
Yeah,
or
also
rewire
the brain.
the brain? Okay.
Yeah, his points is under his points is under dysfunctional relationships.
Relationships,
Like,
yeah, okay.
if you're from a family that's poor and what you want they can't provide for you, so in order to get you and you have a friend that has the money to provide those stuff for you, so
Regardless of their terms you
Yes.
want to give it. Okay, are we not downplaying social media in all of this?
Yeah, because of social factors also.
Yeah, because the social media space where people are flaunting lots of wealth and teenagers, they want to copy
What you see on
what
TV.
they see on TV, what they see on the internet. Okay, so success, is it also safe to say greed can also can greed can make a boy very very vulnerable.
Greed.
Yes, because
Well,
to me I say like you're being greedy. You know you cannot afford this. Okay, let's say for example, you are a teenager below 18, and you know financially you're not capable of buying an iPhone. Let's say iPhone. What's the highest now?
16.
iPhone 16. You're not capable. Everybody knows you're not. You're not working and all of that. But you want to have it because that is what is in vogue now. That's what is trending. Don't you see? And then somebody offers that to you. Okay, I'll give you my terms, and this is it. Same gender. This is what I want. I don't want to come very raw with the word. And I'll give you the iPhone. And this teenager accepts the offer. What do you think led to that? Is it not greed?
I won't call it greed because like greed is like having something and you want more of it, even though it's detrimental to your health or what it's going to do to you. I would say it's discontentment
Okay.
because you know you can't afford that thing, and the only way means or the means that you can get it is by doing all these illicit acts, and that leads to like your future being ruined. You can, because you're trying to live a fast life right there. It's this saying that they say you don't only live once, you live every day, but you only die once. So what you do with your days, you understand? It counts. You don't only live once, so you should not live like fast. Take your time. You have enough time.
So you don't need to compromise at any
You
point.
don't need to compromise at any point.
Okay, that's a very valid point. Thank you, Francis.
Under that of support system, that's inadequate parenting, like poor parenting. So this can harm the child for many years if parents don't train, like raise their child, their boy
Right.
child up. So this can affect them in the future. And
Yeah, when Francis made mention of helicopter monitoring,
Monitoring.
okay, I think that's where, because if parents monitor the activities of their child, there are certain times where they come up with gadgets that are far above their
Yeah.
means. They will know and try to trace the source of that, maybe device or
Yeah.
something. Okay, that way they get to know that their child is getting himself involved into something he is not supposed to. So that's to our parents. Pay close attention.
The child care system, all these nannies or they used to call them house helps before the parents should either check them very well or just go back to the normal days or when parents used to just raise their child by themselves. Like have time for your child.
Have time for your child. Let's go back to those
Those
days
days.
when parents
Oh.
used to have time
Yeah.
for their kids.
Yeah.
They stay back to raise their children, not leave them in the care of
Of
people
strangers.
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 Yeah, because I've had cases where people just go to
Mostly.
places that you
Right.
don't know. You just pick up people, you don't know their background, and these are the people you trust your boy child.
And maybe they were abused.
And maybe those ones also are victims of abuse, and you just bring them in and the abuse continues. Francis has a very valid point. Thank you very much. Is there anything you think the government can do to help the boy child, either to protect them from the sexual abuse or to remedy the situation? Is there anything?
Yeah, government laws should be put in place, like strict laws should be put in place, like all this, like the rapists, the pedophiles. Sometimes the world is, let's say sometimes the world is better off without them because like this act is a very immoral act. It's uncalled for, it's ungodly, it's a sin. You understand? What is there in young boys? Just go out, talk with girls, talk with women, socialize, stop going for, maybe they just do all this stuff because maybe like they feel like
they can always get away with
they
it.
can always get away with, or like the child is not educated enough.
Yeah.
Like, also like.
So who do you think should educate the child? Is it the school system? Is it parents? Is it the church?
Well,
or
education.
religious center, be it a mosque or a church? So who do you think is responsible for that early sex education?
The school system.
School system?
Yeah.
Okay.
The school system.
Well, for me, I think education starts at home. Like, yes.
Thank you. Okay, let's hear you.
Because so parents start to teach their boy child or girl child. So school is the secondary aspect of learning, but during birth and during birth,
Yeah.
education starts.
So parents should
So
first
parents.
play that role. Then
Sometimes parents don't always reach that topic.
they do. Maybe because parents are not aware. That is why we are creating this awareness right now.
Yeah.
So parents, you just know that you have to be the first teacher when it comes to creating awareness of sexual abuse to your kids. They should hear it first from you. Then the school can come in as a support, and then the government can come in with laws to enforce certain
Laws.
Yeah. Okay, that's beautiful. Is there anything you think a boy that is a victim of sexual abuse, what can you do to help that child?
Well,
The government, the family, the society. What can we do to help a child as a victim, a boy child as a victim of sexual abuse?
Well, for me, I think counseling.
Counseling.
We should counsel maybe like with other survivors of abuse. Counsel them and
Group
other
therapy, very
victims.
important.
Yeah, but finding a healthy addiction, playing games, going outside.
Healthy addiction.
Healthy
Okay.
addictions, not any type of addictions. Healthy addictions, playing games.
Okay, it will help you heal
Yeah.
because you're diverting attention or focus to
Just
something. It will help you heal.
do anything that keeps your mind busy, so you don't
Busy.
reflect on something that happened to
Okay.
you. Or don't hang with your friends. That is like group therapy. You
Yeah.
understand? You know that feeling that, let me say you were in school and let me say the principal flogged all of you, understand? That has damaged your mood throughout the day, but when you gather with like 5 or 6 boys,
You don't
understand?
forget.
You're forgetting what happens.
Okay, but when it comes to abuse, it's really not that easy, but it will
Help
really
you,
help.
reduces it a little. You will find yourself, like, take yourself, like, from the world for a minute or so, you understand? Just like, how do you call that, what monks always do, meditate, just like meditation.
Okay.
Just take yourself out from the world for a minute or so, or 30 minutes. Just look deep into yourself. Just remove everything, feel everything negative about you going on and think about the positive, you understand?
Yeah.
Just hope for good things. Attach onto
Okay.
those good things, and it helps. Because you start thinking fairly about yourself.
Okay. So how about turning your pain to gain? Like for example, it's a bad event, a traumatizing event, which has caused that trauma. For you to heal, for me, I used to feel the fastest way to heal is to try to grow above that pain and then try to help others too who are also facing same challenges. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. It's also, but that's how somehow relates to like post-traumatic stress disorder, because that PTSD.
We just have to take the services of therapists, psychologists, counselors very, very serious.
Very serious.
Okay. I really feel we've not done justice to this topic. So I think because of time, we have to come up with this topic again. Okay, because the people out there really needs to know that the boys are also victims of sexual abuse and they need all the help
They can get.
they can get, just like the girls. Alright, Francis and Success, it was nice having you. So hope to see you in our next edition.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Bye.
Thank you. Things talk.